Alright, welcome back to Life of Loz. Obviously I am Loz. We've got an absolute fantastic one for you today. We have the 2021 Trident 660. Play the intro, boom.
Black Horse.
So anyway, listen, I've got to admit something to you, is I just cheated a little bit. Yeah, I've actually only just come off the highway. Just going to go and do all my review stuff down the other end, all the specs. But listen, I just come off the highway, and this thing sitting on just over 100 Ks, out on the open highway, man, incredibly smooth, incredibly. It was stable, balanced. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, this is not my bike, so I can't really just you know, go out and open it up and knock the doors off it. That's not what this channel's about. But yeah, sitting on just on 100 Ks, now I wish I had just booted it up to about 110, even just put it up to 120. But you know, we don't do that on Australian roads, of course not. That's not what we do. But I would have liked to have, yeah, because that was just incredibly smooth. Like, there was no vibiness in the bars. Yeah, that for me, I mean, I'm a Honda man, and what would I know? You know, I ride a BMW, so what would I know? You know, my opinions don't really count, really. But yeah, Triumph, wow, that is really nice. Yeah, no vibiness on the bars at all. It just, yeah, definitely eye-opening a little bit there for me. This has got self-cancelling indicators. So that's always a great feature to have on a bike. Always a great feature. The little roar from this little triple. This has only got a standard exhaust, nothing fancy. Standard exhaust. It sounds absolutely fantastic, and the little bit of a reverberation you get through the seat and that from the little triple is just—it's an amazing little thing. I actually really like it. Apart from being, you know, like, just that light and that nimble, and you know, being able to sort of flick it into corners and, you know, get your potential lean on. Yeah, she definitely so much torque down low. It's, yeah, so much torque. It's actually hard to describe, because you know, being on a bike on such a small displacement, it's yeah, it's different. There's definitely a reason, you know, like why Triumph have, you know, waited so long to and put so much effort into releasing this bike with the horsepower numbers, because trust me, there's a lot of bikes out there in the same class with a lot more horsepower, but you know, horsepower numbers and torque numbers on paper and newton meters of torque and all that stuff on paper doesn't really calculate out into being in the real world. So I think for this little bike, the amount of power that it's got and how light it is, it's only 190 kilos, man, she gets up and she takes off. She really does. It's yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. What I did notice when I was riding at home yesterday, to give it a good little wash, because that's what I do for people who let me borrow their bike for, you know, like a day and a bit, or a day really. I give it a nice little wash. But one thing I did notice, coming across the lights, there's probably a reason for Triumph not giving this bike any more torque or any more power for the weight of it, is because this front wheel, it does get very light, and you don't even really need to try. So this bike was released to try and take on the MT-07. So it's understandable that it's you know, got a whole lot of characteristics and playfulness, as they say. But yeah, if this bike actually had any more power or any more torque behind it, this front wheel would be constantly, just like an MT-07, off the ground. So it's actually probably a great idea of Triumph not to give it you know, any more horsepower. But yeah, it definitely gets a little light on the front for a bike that, you know, it's only hasn't really got that much horsepower, but it's got enough to you know, get you out of any situation. And I mean, look at this. This just cruises around all these little corners. This just loves it. Absolutely loves it. It just loves it. And the slipper clutch, that's the next thing I wanted to talk about. This slipper clutch is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, the clutch to foot ratio is perfect. And then obviously you add in the little bit of a fly-by-wire, which I'll just show you now. I'll come up to a bit of a stop here. These brakes, oh, that's a bit of ABS on the back. That's nice. Look how easy that is to get a neutral bang. Straight like that. See how it's got, not sure whether you can see that, but see how it's got that little bit of playfulness? Or I think that is to try and circumvent some of the herky-jerky, which pretty much any review you'll ask or watch, they will always tell you that yeah, this bike is really herky-jerky, yeah, same as the Speed Triple, all that sort of stuff. It's just really, yeah, I don't know what they're complaining about, but I find the throttle to power ratio absolutely beautiful on this little bike. And I mean, you know, you could you know, for a small little tiny displacement motorcycle, which is the biggest in the learner class, you could definitely get yourself into some trouble on this. I can guarantee you that. You know, and you'll keep this bike for a long time. You know, like this will be your little weapon of choice for, you know, sort of 4 or 5, you know, maybe even 6 years, or, you know, you might just fall in love with it and, you know, do all the upgrades, you know, suspension, a little bit of exhaust, you know, like there's a little tiny screen that you can buy for it. There's a Bluetooth connectivity which will unlock all of your, it's a little navigation thing, it just points the arrows, blah blah blah. It's got connectivity to your phone, so you can do all that stuff. Navigation through your phone, which goes through to your center or your Carter, whichever you prefer. And it also, and I don't know this for sure, I've only just, you know, done a little bit of research, but apparently it can connect to all your GoPros, which would be good for me, which would be great for me. But anyway, that's enough about all that sort of stuff. Yeah, everything is exactly where it should be on this bike. It's just so light, so nimble, and I mean, as you've seen me cruising along here in the last, you know, sort of 5 or 6 minutes or so, like, she does it with ease, you know. It's nice and balanced. You know, it comes with the standard Pilot Road 5s, so, you know, like, you just can't go wrong with that sort of stuff. But yeah, this is where I'm going to be doing my little bit of a review. So yeah, well, hot damn, isn't life just great? Okay, this is the long-awaited motorcycle, and the #1 motorcycle to change the motorcycling landscape for 2021. The Triumph Trident 660. It's an inline triple, double overhead cam, 4 valves per cylinder. In every part of the world, it comes out with 80 horsepower and about 56 newton meters of torque. And the torque comes on, or 64 newton meters of torque. Torque comes on at 6,250 RPM, and its max power is actually at 10,250 RPM. But here in Australia, under the Learner Approved Motorcycle Scheme, or the A2 if you're in the UK, this particular bike actually comes out at 53 brake horsepower at 39.8 kilowatts at 8,500 RPM. and at 59 Newton meters of torque at 5,000 RPM. So yeah, it's definitely got a enough power for its weight ratio. I'll run you through the weight in a second, but yeah, I might as well just wing it here. It's 41 millimeter upside down show of suspension, twin Nissan 2-pot calipers with 320mm discs either side. Plenty of stopping power for this little bike. It's got a 120/70/17 running a Pilot Road 5. On the back, it's got a shower adjustable shock, preload adjustability. It's got 255mm disc, single disc, and a single pot Nissan caliper, and it's a 180/55/17, also running a Pilot Road 5. So it's, yeah, definitely very nice. The seat height is 810mm, so for anybody who's vertically challenged, it's very pleasing. The dry weight / wet weight is about 190 kilos. Fuel tank is a 14 litre capacity fuel tank. Should get you about 280 k's or about 180 miles. Brand new, this bike here in Australia was worth about $12,690. And on the Red Book recommended pricing at the moment, you can pick one of these up for an average about 10.5. They go up to about 11.5, and they also, depending on how many Ks and how many mods you got on it, it could even go as low as 9.5. But that's only recommendation. You know, people mod these things and everything else, so it definitely affects the price. But you know, at the end of the day, it's a Triumph. It's always going to be able to keep its value. It's just the quality, fit and finish. So yeah. No, I'm not 100% familiar with this bike. Thank you for Troy for letting me borrow his pride and joy. This bike has got a fair bit of tech on it. I'm not going to run through it all. It's got 2 rider modes, road mode and then rain mode. It's a beautiful TFT dash, and you can see that's so clear. You can adjust all of your brightnesses and all that sort of thing. And so on the controls here, obviously non-adjustable clutch lever, sister clutch, high and low beam. These are all your sort of menu buttons and things like that, indicators, horn, menu button, obviously your TFT dash. Over here, I don't know why, I'm not sure whether this is just a Triumph thing or whether I'm just just don't know much, but anyway, yeah, there's your hazard lights, and obviously emergency stop and start. Fuel cap and things like that. This little girl runs a full LED light system, and it is absolutely magnificent. And I mean, you know, the attention to detail on this specific bike is yeah, second to none. It's yeah, it's a beautiful little thing. I mean, you know, she's for a little a naked / cafe racer looking bike, she's absolutely beautiful. I'm not a Triumph man myself, but you know, you've got to admire quality. And you know, listen, I was washing it yesterday, and I mean, these little bits here, you know, is it really, like, does it really fit the you know, the whole qualm of what's going on? You know, and they are going to discolorate really quickly. Just saying. You know, there's always a bit of controversy when it comes to this little flap here, or this little insert. My knees hit just sort of right about here. I'm only 6'1", so if you're any taller, you'd definitely run into a few problems with that. It's ride by wire, and you know, typical Triumph comes out with 100% braided brake lines. You know, that's pretty much as good as it gets, really, for a you know, for a bike in this sort of category. You just don't see too many bikes out there with braided brake lines. But listen, I was going to come in here, and I was going to, you know, put my lunch and my microfiber and, you know, me extra GoPro batteries and all that stuff under the seat, you know, as you would. And I took the seat off, and whoa, hang on a minute. Yeah, definitely no room for my lunch. definitely no room for my microfiber or anything else. Yeah, I definitely did not expect that. Easy to get on and off, you just got to give it a bit of a push. The owner of this bike, Troy, has a little bit of a complaint about the seat, because no matter what you do to it, it'll always, you know, show up all your little scuffs and your little marks. But you know, he loves this little pride and joy. Yeah, he's definitely come a long way on it, and yeah, he loves riding it. So yeah, anyway, yeah, she's definitely a showstopper. I actually didn't think I was ever going to leave this location there. It's just something about a Triumph that just stops people in their tracks. And I mean, you know, she's a beautiful little bike anyway, so you know, you can't blame people for having some good taste. Triumph's a very well-known brand. It'd be a shame if they bought out a shit bike, and I'd be very surprised. But yeah, I didn't think I was going to get out of there. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, so anyway, the one and only thing that I didn't quite mention in my little specs thing is you can actually turn traction control on and off. It's a little button in the menu that you can yeah, you can turn traction control on and off. So that's another little added little feature that you can do. Yeah, I don't know why you'd want to do that, but hey, at least you have the options to be able to do that. So yeah, just one of those things, I guess. It's nice to cruise along and just go about your business. But yeah, she just hums along this little thing. There's so much power for such a little bike, so much torque down low, and the little triple just, yeah, she just buzzes along, man. She's just drop a gear and, you know, for any learner, you'll be disappearing. So yeah, she sings, she just absolutely hums. You can get yourself into a lot of trouble in this little bike. And yeah, this is actually a one of the special paint schemes. It costs £100, or in Australia I think it's a $200 extra to yeah, get the little Triumph logos and stuff on it. I mean, is it really necessary? But one of the things I noticed yesterday when I was washing it, and reminded me there when a couple of people stopped me in the park, they go, oh gee, that must be a bit of a pain in the ass. And then I remember what it was like washing it yesterday with all the matte blacks on it. It is quite trying to yeah, make sure you keep this little girl clean. It's absolutely yeah, a magnet for water stains. And I had some rainwater, and I did all my little you know, showroom shine finishes and stuff, and everything else, and yeah, I still was finding marks on it. So yeah, one of those things. But whoa, but I don't really want to go through that bit of water. You know, I didn't clean this bike here for Troy just to run it through some water. But there you go, there was a little spot check to cruise and do a bit of a U-turn. So yeah, that was nice. So light, so agile, and so nimble for this category of motorcycle. So yeah, I'll turn my camera around, and yeah, this will be about it. But yeah, I'll see you in a sec. Yeah, this is an absolutely fantastic little bike. Another bike that I'm going to hate giving back, but at the end of the day, listen, I appreciate you, Troy. Thanks for letting me take out your pride and joy. Yeah, I'll put in a little stop go from 110 down to 0 and then back up to a 110. Just got to remember, this is not my bike, so this is not about max wristing anything and stuff like that. This is about a first ride and an actual review. I stuck my actual first ride review up a couple of days ago. But yeah, listen, thanks for watching. This is Life of Loz. Obviously I am Loz. Thank you to all my subscribers. Make sure you wear all the gear all the time. I'll see you on the next one. Boom.